Hi everyone, I'm Karen from Karen Comb Studio, and this is FlossTube 54. It is Monday, November 10th, and I've got some things to show you. Got some finishes, some things I've been working on, little bit of haul, so let's get started. What I did, and I might have talked about this in the last video, and I want to thank all of you that gave it a thumbs up or put a comment. Last time was my 3-year anniversary or flossiversary, and it was the things that I had finished, either finished or fully finished since I returned to cross stitch. Even though it was an anniversary of 3 years of FlossTube, I started returning to stitching, I think it was about 6 months before I taped my first FlossTube. So that's what it was, and I want to thank you for all your nice comments and congratulations. And I think I mentioned last time that what I was going to do that I had good success with last year is I went through my whips, and anything that was 2/3, 3/4 done, I pulled out and worked on until it was finished. And that's what I did for this. So that's why I have 3 finishes. So I want to show you those. The first one is by the Primitive Hair. It's Rebecca Nurse. And I opted to, I did do it on the Vintage Country Mocha. I think it's 36 count. But I did opt to leave off the word Salem, the year, and the name. I really liked that Salt Box House and the winter scene. So, real fancy project bag for that. Here's the DMC that I used. I didn't get them on floss drops. I just kept going. So, let me show you. I'm not sure if I'll do that as a little stand-up or not a pillow, I don't think. I'm not sure. But it's a nice fall, winter, well, I don't know, possibly late fall, winter. So there it is. That's the color of the Vintage Country Mocha. And you can see I opted to round out the bottom on the chart. I don't know if it shows it exactly. It's more straight. You can see the snow is more straight. So I opted to round it. And I'll tell you what, I was nervous about that fence. It was a blast to do. Sometimes the things we're the most nervous about turn out to be the most fun. There we go. So while the house is not perfect, there's a bobble here and there. I'm pleased with it. It's finally done. This one just seemed to take forever. So I'm glad it's done, and I'm going to enjoy putting it in the mantle. That might be something I do for winter. So that's the first finish. The second finish was something that I received at Sampler Symposium in 2023. It's available for general purchase now, and Campion, 1845 by Hands Across the Sea. And we received the kit with the linen and the floss, and I did make some changes. Let's see. I don't know what I did there. Again, it was in a project bag. I don't know what happened to it. 40 count Tabby Cat wood smoke is what we received in our kit. And we received 103. And the black is 744. There's 2 spots for the cream and the pink, and I opted not to do those. One, I think the pink was one of the animal's tongues, and the white was around the eye. I opted not to do that. So I didn't use these at all, because what I did instead, and if you've been watching, you've seen me work on this, get this back together. I decided to do Waterhouse. I got to see, I've got Waterhouse 103. That's the Swasserfine. So here's what most of it's in. Get where the camera can see it. And this is that gray charcoal leaning toward, not really black, but kind of in the light, it is really charcoal, but it's showing up kind of green. It's magic, because when you stitch with it, it just looks like this beautiful, not black, but rich, deep charcoal. And I love how this turned out. All right, that is the true color. Now let me get close. I opted to do this view today instead of the top down, just for something different. You can see in the animals there, I think there was an outline of an eye with the bird, or maybe the, I don't know if those are dogs or griffins, or I don't know what kind of animal that is. There is some over 1 on this, but there it is. And I did order the Waterhouse Swasserfine for the over 1. That kind of held me up a little bit. So here they are. One is the Swasserfine, and one is the 103. I'm so pleased with how that turned out. And in fact, I'm going to hold on to it because it's going to apply to something I'm going to show you coming up. So Anne is finished, and I'm not sure what kind of frame I will put on her. Probably, I don't know, black, because it's not black thread. I don't know, maybe a deep charcoal? I'm not sure. So we'll see. So she's done. And this was a big finish. Now, let me get my chair up here. So in April, Hobby House had, and I can't remember the name of it, but they had a retreat, and I know Paulette from Plum Street was one of the presenters, and I wanted to go so bad, but it just wasn't feasible. And there's always reasons you're not able to go to things. And so I decided to have my own personal retreat while everyone was at Hobby House with their retreat. So what I did, and I did post on Instagram about that, is I had watched Laura and Brenda's shopping tour of Hobby House. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own little retreat. I'm going to either start something new from my stash or pull out an old whip. And I opted to start something new from my stash. And in the video, I talk about the different linens that I was picking from, because what I decided to do for my retreat in solidarity with all those at Hobby House is I decided to pull out Come Into My Garden by Blackbird. And the linen that's called for is Velt, which I had some, and I was going to use it. And then I started debating, what's going on with my hair there? I thought, oh, that's the doorknob, never mind. I just wasn't sure. So I pulled some linen and I put a post with some pictures, and then I did a little video of the start. And I'm going to put that in here in a second so you can review it. Maybe you're not on Instagram, so you didn't see it. But I used the called for threads. Let's see, what did I do here? Okay, I opted to do this for my hang tag. I just photocopied that and put it on one of the Kraft Tags. So I had the symbol and the colors. And then on this side, I wrote down what I was doing. And then I just put one of these little tags so I knew what it went for. Sometimes I'll put the picture of the project, but this time I decided to do linen name and the symbols. So come into the garden. Velt is the called for. And I'm going to insert the video right here where I talk about the little virtual retreat and the colors that I had decided to try and then what I decided on. So it's about 2.5 minutes and I'm going to stop this, insert that, and then I'll be back. Hi everyone, I'm just finishing watching Brenda and Laura's video from Hobby House at the retreat and going to watch it again. But yesterday I posted that, as many of you, we wish we could be at the retreat, and things just sometimes don't work out, but I decided to join them virtually, and I decided I would start something new. So this I had kitted with the thread and several linens. So I showed this on Instagram yesterday. Here's, oh, it's far away from me, I have to reach. This is the velt that's called for. I had that to do as an option, or, sorry, moving the camera, or I had, this is Lakeside Vintage Lentil. You can see I've made a decision. It was hard because they were all gorgeous. This is Saltbush. And it's really hard showing linen on a camera. So I'm hoping this shows up a little better. Here is Saltbush. I was torn between all of them, but ultimately decided on wood smoke, mostly because of it's a gray with some green, and that color, the green is showing up if I back up some. So I did start on it, and I think the colors look gorgeous. It's still not showing up as green as it really is. I don't know, let's see. That's a little better. So I decided to start that, and I of course placed an order with Hobby House so I could virtually shop with everyone. So we decided it would be fun to have a hashtag stitch and shop sell. So if you want to join us, just post what you're stitching on or what you started, or shop your stash and start something, or place an order after seeing that marvelous video. But just wanted to show you what I decided to do for coming to my garden. And I'm looking forward so much to seeing Brenda and Laura's other videos as well as pictures from the retreat. So I wanted to pop in and do a quick little video, and happy stitching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're on Instagram, you may have seen it, but if you're not on Instagram, you may not have. I tried to find the linen I had pulled, and I can't find the velt. I know I haven't used it. I don't know where I put it, and I'm pretty organized, and it's really frustrating to me because I can't find it. And it will show up anyway. So what I decided, and I think you saw that in the video, is I decided to use Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat. And here are the called for. And they are just beautiful. I don't think I changed any of the colors. Oh, it's all kind of frazzled. But just gorgeous colors. And here it is. I am so pleased with how the colors turned out on the wood smoke. And let me just show you, because when you're dyeing, whether it's dyeing yarn, dyeing fabric, dyeing linen. Conditions change, and so colors can change. This is 40 count wood smoke, which is a little more tannish. This is also 40 count wood smoke, which is a gray green, and that's why I chose it, because the Velt has, well, it has green. I don't know if it's green cast, but it is more green, but this is more gray green. Oh, so pleased with it. Okay, so can you see it? Yes, there's the color. Now I'm gonna try to look through the linen so you can see it, and then I'll bring it up close. Oh, look at those colors. I think the alphabet I did change to have more blue in it. Still use the colors that were called for. Just slowly going up so you can see it. I don't think I changed anything else other than my name. I put in blue because I like blue. But there it is. I think this is going to go in my bedroom. Hold on, let me fold it so I can hold it up. There. Just like that. And this is one chart that when I've seen it, the border bothered me. I didn't like these kind of paddle shapes, but in person, they are so pretty. I'm so happy I did it, and I'm so glad I decided to turn that little virtual retreat, because I really wanted to go to that, and I just wasn't able to. So I got to work on something and start something that I really wanted to have up on my wall, and here it is all done. So I'll be getting it framed. So that's a big finish. And what's the size of that? It's crammed in here in this project, in this plastic bag. It was, I don't think it ever made it into a project bag. 245 by 253. So on 36, it's 13.5 by 14 roughly. I did it on 40, so a little smaller. So that is my third finish, and that's a big one. Just so pleased with it. Okay, put those down. So let me show you what I've been working on. And I believe that I showed you my order from the attic that came in. And what have I worked on? A few, because mostly I was working on finishing those things since I last talked to you. But I did decide to start Mary Ann Buck, which I had in my hand when I was at the attic in April. And I put it down. And it's an exclusive to the attic. And I thought, no, I had so much already, and I kept thinking about it, and I decided to go ahead and get it. And on Mondays with Mary, that's Monday evening through the Facebook group, our Samplers. Krista runs that. I look forward to it every Monday night. But I think it's on the last Monday, or is it the first Monday? Sorry, Krista, I don't remember. One of the Mondays, I think it's the last Monday. Don't hold me to that. She's working on Mary Ann Buck. Now, I will say it's an informal stitch along. You can, when you're watching the video that Krista is doing, you can work on whatever you want. You can work on what she's working on. You can work on another Mary or Maria, or you can just work on anything. And I decided to join in on everyone that's working on Mary Ann Buck because I wanted to have it and I didn't get it. So I went ahead and ordered it from the attic, and I decided to go ahead and order it in the 103. You could I believe you can order either the chart or the chart and the linen or the chart, linen, and floss. And so I decided to go ahead and let them pick the linen, which they were able to send me the called for. The called for, I just want to make sure I'm correct on that. The called for is 46 count tabby cat muddy duck. I opted for 40 count tabby cat muddy duck. And this is by Needlework Press. Okay, the original here is a little bit more creamy, and the muddy duck is a little more yellow. Here's the reproduction right there. And here are the called for hand-dyed silks. Oh, here they are. Just really pretty colors. There we go. And I started her on the top right corner. I've got a hanging thread here. No, that's the color of the linen. So that's as far as I am with Marianne. And it's got kind of that wild tree, and that's just the edge of the house. That little bird's over one. I'm not sure if there's other over one. There's it's either a cow or a goat. Well, it looks like it's a goat with horns, but it could be a cow. So I'm just right up in there. So it's not a super big one. Let's see, on 40, it's 8 by 11. Oh, 171 by 225. And the kit is available in DMC, I'm pretty sure, DMC, Classic Colorworks, or overdyed silk. Maybe even 103. Check with the Attic. They offer a wide range, whether you like the hand-dyed cottons or DMC or the hand-dyed silk. So there she is. And I started that, just got a little start on it. So been working on Marianne, put it all back together. And the Attic sent all of it on this ring with this, and I opted to put it on a bigger ring so it fits on my little drawer down here with the knob. If you've seen my sewing room video, you've seen that. Okay, where are you going, Marianne? Let's see. Trying to keep everything together, and Ziggy's laying upside down in his bed next to me. I'm not going to bring him out today. He had surgery a couple days ago. I had to have some teeth, baby teeth that did not come out, removed, and he was neutered. So he's doing well, but he's sleeping. And he's sleeping upside down in a big puffy bed. So if you hear snoring, it's him right down here. The other thing, let's see, I've worked on a couple more things. I am working on the Seasons in the Garden series by Jeanette Douglas, and I'm purchased the kit through Village Sampler in West Virginia. So I've done all of summer, and I was just sent autumn, and I didn't get to work on it right away, so now I'm working on it. Here are the colors for fall. And what's fun about it is the color palette's similar but different, so you can see the seasons change. So I've got, some of them are similar, some of them are different. So those are the silks. And I do have a hanging thread, but what is this on? It's on the called for. It's on Moonstone by Fiber on a Whim, 36 count. The whole piece is 191 by 191, and each section is 93 by 93. So the whole design is about 10.5 square, and it's created with different silks. So I opted to get the kit option because then they send, just what you need. And then sometimes it's just a few pieces of a skein, so I don't have to order all the skeins, but there's a lot of colors. There's Classic Colorwork Silk, Dinky Dyes, Gloriana, Rainbow Gallery, Thread Gatherer, and then there are beads that you'll put on the end. So I just thought the kit's the way to go on that. So here it is. My summer is done, and there's the color. Let me get up close so you can see. I'll try to get where I'm not in the way. There we go. So each section you can see there's water, there's a path. There are quite a few specialty stitches. I've got the house to do, the kind of quilt pattern. I think I counted, I don't know, 10 or 11 little sections left to do. So I worked on that quite a bit. We were gone a couple weeks ago and we went to the beach, and we usually try to go to the beach, and by the beach I mean the Gulf Coast, which is about, supposedly it's like 6.5 hours from our house, but it always takes us 8 because of the traffic and stops and all that. But anyway, we spent a week at the beach, and the weather normally in October, unless there's a hurricane, is nice. This time we had a nice day and a not nice day, and a nice day and a not nice day, and it's still beautiful no matter what. But you could tell there was a hurricane in the Gulf, even though it was 1,000 miles from us, because the waves were just massive. So I spent a lot of time stitching when it was bad weather, and then when it was nice weather, I'd be out, but then I'd come back and sit on the balcony and stitch. So I worked quite a bit on this, and at the beach is where I finished Rebecca Nurse and and Campion. I had finished Come Into My Garden just before we left. So I was glad that I had the things to work on autumn. And look at that little pumpkin. Let me see if I can put it where you can see it. I need to get my face out of the way. I'm sorry, this is motion sickness. I think I've got the camera opposite because I'm like doing weird stuff with trying to figure out where to put it. So I did work on that, and I'll continue, keep working on that. The winter kit is coming soon, but I'll try to get fall done before I do that. And I worked on, which this will be an ongoing project for a very long time, Quaker Virtues. And those of you who have watched for a while know that I am doing a Water Lilies, the color silk. The color is Olive Grove, which is a variegated thread, and then using complementary colors for it. So most of it's going to be in the Olive Grove, which is variegated, so it looks like I'm changing threads all the time, and I'm not. And then I'm highlighting the different aspect with some of these other colors. And I've mentioned before, just like you would do in a quilt, you'd have your focus fabric that had more colors in it, and then you'd bring in your companion pieces. That's what I'm doing here. This is on 28 count. There it is, 28 count heavy cream by Kitten Stitcher. It's cold here today. That's why I have a jacket on, because it was 70 a couple days ago. Now there's snow flurries in the air. We're fortunate, nothing's sticking, but East Tennessee is getting pounded. Talk to my son who lives over there. He's okay where they live, but he sent me a picture of the mountains in the different distance, and there's a dusting, and you get further in to the mountains in East Tennessee, and they're getting some snow. So here is, oh, that's the color. Look at this. All right, I'm gonna stand up and hold it so you can see it. I love that. Look at that. So I think that top section is what I got done since you last saw it. Let me just zoom in. I love how the variegated thread's doing the work. I just love this so much, and I'm really, really enjoying doing the over one on the Lugana. So, worked on that. Put this all together. He didn't even wake up. He just moved a toe. That's good. And then, let's see, I worked on, I'm going to have to go out of the shot for a second. I worked on Mary Carter before I left, and then when I came back. Get everything pulled up here. Mary Carter is another Monday with Mary project, and it is Hands Across the Sea. It's Mary Carter 1712. It's a band sampler. Lots of specialty stitches. Only 8 colors. And I had the hardest time picking the linen for it, but I finally ended up with 40 count vintage cedar plank by Lakeside. These are the colors. Almost like cartoon colors. Really bright, but when they're stitched, they're just gorgeous. You can see on the cover. They're just beautiful. So I first pulled all the DMC. Then I decided I was going to do my own conversion to Vicki Clayton silk with a couple of 103s. So here's my colors. These are the 2 103s I opted for. I had pulled some Vicki Clayton that I thought would work, and then I decided for those 2 colors to do 103. Like I said, I did my own conversion with it. And I'm using the 103, I'm using the DMC as the padding, because there are padded satin stitches, so I am using the DMC as the padding, and then using the silk over top, so I don't have as much expense in the silk. So there's a lot of satin stitch in this one band, which I got bogged down on, so I'm doing a section and then moving to another section. So let me hold it up, and then I'll, okay. All right, let me hold it back. That's the color. Okay. Oh, here it is. All right, that band that you can see, I'm trying to see over top of it there. That band has got padding and then stitched over. And what I decided to do is, you can see there's a lot of elements. So I decided to do an element and then move to the next section. Every time I pick it up, I do another satin stitch section and then move to the where I'm working on. There's a almost like a Florentine stitch or Irish stitch, and then I'm working on these little padded lozenges there right now. Those are quite fun too. Those are not padded. At least I'm not padding them. I'm padding up here. So here it is. And the colors are really, really beautiful. And even though there's a lot of work in that band, let me see what you can see. It's beautiful. You know, 17th or 16, let's see, 16, yes, 16th century, would that be right? 16th century, 1700s, is that correct? Anyway, 1712. So worked on her quite a bit when I got back from the beach. Was there anything else I was going to say about her? I don't know. I'm going to finish working on, let me see what you're seeing here. I'm going to keep working on this, and then there's another row of words. But when I pick this up again, I'll do one of these little sections and then come back down here. And Krista is also working on it, and she had a marvelous idea, because I think she's using 103s. And she was finding she was having to make 2, sometimes 3 passes. And so she's doing two threads, 2 strands. And it looks beautiful. And she's railroading them. So I decided to do that. And it does make it quicker. You don't have to do so many passes. So that's helped. But I got bogged down and I didn't want to work on it. I thought, no, I want to work on it. So what can I do to help me through that? So doing a little section of the satin stitch for, 10, 15 minutes, then moving to another part has helped me get quite far with it. You know, whatever helps. Move things along, especially if you want to work on it and then for some reason you got stuck. That's how I got unstuck. And I wasn't stuck for very long, but I could not take it to the beach because I'm using a stand and I didn't want to take all that. So I took the other things to work on. And then yesterday, I pulled out Mary Finley, which I had to set her aside because, let's see, well, let me go back. This was an exclusive, and I think it still is, with the Scarlet House and Shakespeare's Peddler. So I believe Shakespeare's Peddler is where you purchase it. Mary Finley is just a really sweet little sampler. I don't know if it's got a year for Mary. I'm not sure. I was just looking to see if those were Latin years, and it's not. It says WF. Well, those aren't. It says MC, and I thought, okay, is that a Latin numeral? But no, I'm not sure what year it is. But it's called for is 40 count button box by Mason Linen and Needlepoint Silk, but there is a DMC conversion. It's on 40 count, it's 6.25 by 11.75. There are some Algerian eyelets. I was just looking, and I opted again to do a Vicki Clayton conversion. So here are my colors. I did not pull the DMC, I just ordered the conversion. So there's the colors. Is there 8? 10 colors. And you'll notice that there are 2 little dogs and 2 rabbits. Well, I decided to do the coloration of the black little dog was in honor of our little dog, Coco, who's no longer with us. He passed in 2014. He was 16 and a half. And then after I stitched Benji in this, not too long after that, he passed away suddenly. And that was tough. It's still tough. I had to put it away. I did not think I'd even be able to ever work on it again. But then little Ziggy came into our life, and I decided instead of 2 rabbits and 2 dogs, I'd have 3 dogs and 1 rabbit. And last night, I stitched in Ziggy. So here it is. That's the linen color. You know what? I just thought, did I tell you what I used for my linen? Oh, I used the called for 40 count antique button. Is that what it called for? Did I order the kit? No, it called for button box medium dark. I had some antique button medium dark, so I decided to use what I had. So I just ordered the chart. That's the color of the antique button medium dark. And it's just a sweet little sampler. So there it is. And you can see there's Coco, Benji, and now Ziggy after a really big rabbit. And I had somebody, when I was talking about this, mentioned that it wasn't on this chart, but it was on another chart. They had put their pets' names in honor, and I thought, I like that idea. So I was looking last night, and I was going to try to put it beside them. I don't think there's room, even over one. So I think below each of the little dogs, I'm going to put their name over one, because I don't think there's room above them. But there is some space between the grass and the Algerian eyelet. Let me zoom up. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I even thought it might be fun to just put rabbit. So it'd be Coco, Benji, Ziggy, rabbit. I don't know. I'm going to see. I might do a little more of the design, make sure it's not too busy to add that. But it should go pretty fast because these are open and lacy. This one down there has a little more stitching. So my thought is, the reason I kept Campion out is I really like the alphabet on Campion. It's just clean and classic. So I think I might use that over one alphabet. And I'm thinking I might do the lowercase, all lowercase. Let me hold it up so you can see. So that's my thought process is I really like the alphabet, so I think I'm going to use that if I decide to put the names of each of the pets down there. All right. I did get to visit the cross-stitch shop in Gulf Shores. We weren't staying in Gulf Shores, but it was nearby, so I wasn't going to go, but then I decided yes. And normally when we're at the beach, I just spend my time walking on the beach. If it's nice, like swimming. We don't even go out to eat much. I just want to relax in the fresh air with the ocean. And we had several days we had to be in because of the rain. So one morning it was going to be nice after, you know, a not nice day before, and we'd been inside all day. And I said, I want to go out to breakfast, which we never do because we don't eat breakfast. I said, I want to go out to breakfast and I want to get some real coffee, meaning like a cappuccino or a latte, real coffee. And I want to go to the cross-stitch shop. And he had been playing golf or going to the driving range whenever the weather was good. So he's like, okay, I wondered if you wanted to do anything. I said, well, normally no. But yeah, I want to do that. So we went out to breakfast, which I have to eat gluten-free, which is a real pain. But found a restaurant that had some gluten-free options. Actually had gluten-free French toast, which I have not had French toast in years because it's hard to find gluten-free. So anyway, had that, had a wonderful pumpkin spice latte from this beautiful little cafe that was New Orleans based. Then I went to the cross-stitch shop. And I only purchased a couple things. It's been 2 years since I've been there. Creative Expressions, Creative Needle Arts. Oh, I thought I had the sticker here. I think it's Creative Needle Arts. It's in Gulf Shores. Beautiful shop. They have just, I'll say, broken through the wall to the next side, but they've expanded. It was beautifully laid out. They have so much. They have a lot of needlepoint, but they also have cross stitch. They had all kinds of flosses, silks. Oh, I told him he was going to wait in the car. I said, it could be a while. He said, I don't care. I got emailed answer. So anyway, I did pick up a couple notions. I found these little, I'm already using some, but these smaller magnets. A little smaller discs, because sometimes I'm doing a smaller project. So picked up some of those. I always like to put hand lotion on my hands, but you don't want the grease to be on your stitching. So this is Stitcher's lotion that's non-greasy. I picked that up at the shop. And I picked up a couple of Nerge frames. Because I'm never where I can see them, and I liked these sizes. And I thought, you know what? I normally don't stitch with a Nerge frame, but I want to have some on hand. So picked those up. Normally what I stitch on is a 9-inch. Is it 8 or 9? I think this is a 9-inch. It's a Duchess, Princess, whatever the one with the hoop. I just picked this up at an antique shop. I love the patina, I love the wood, I love the size because most of the time I am stitching on with my Patoki stand. So I don't have to move the hoop as much if I'm using a bigger hoop. So I did find those. I thought this is the time to get the Nerge frame because I can see the sizes. So I already threw the tags away, so I don't know what sizes they are. This is the number 2 size, which is 165 millimeter. And this is the number 3, which is 220. Hey, you know what? I got in my drawer. Wait a minute. Let's just look. All right, the inside dimension of the smaller one is 6 by, I bet it's 6 by 6. Yeah, approximately 6 by 6. And this bigger one is approximately 8 by 8. So that gives you a size. And I did use it on something just to try it, and it holds it really firm. But one thing the shop owner mentioned is if you use it, do not leave your work in it. She did that by mistake, and she cannot get the creases out. So loosen it up, take it out. She said not every stitching session, but if it's gonna be there for any time, she takes it out. And then the other thing I found is, remember Mill Hill beads are gonna be in my Seasons of the Garden. So this is a little case that's sticky, so you can put beads in there. And I thought it was a needle minder, but it has a little Starbucks logo. They had all kinds there at the shop, but I thought, well, that's perfect. There's the beads, and then it just closes. So that's perfect. And I don't know if this is a magnet. I don't have a needle handy. I bet I could put a magnet on that side and just put one if I wanted to put a needle there. And it could also stick, the needle could stick on the sticky part. So that's what I purchased at the shop. All right, let's see where our time is. I've got some more things to show. I think I'll go ahead because I won't be back in December, and I'm not sure about January. We're just got some things going on, and some travel shoved in there and some other obligations, and it's gonna be difficult to film. I might be able to, but I doubt it. So it could be January before I'm back, or it could be February. I just don't know. All right, I'm gonna leave this out. Where am I gonna put it? So I'm gonna go ahead and do this next segment because last year I did, and I might do it this time too, but anyway, I picked a bunch of things to consider for a birthday start. And I thought this year I'm probably gonna do a birthday start, but I'm also going to focus on a birthday finish. So I think this is gonna be my birthday finish. So, meaning I need to finish it before my birthday. My last year birthday start, okay, I gotta pull these. This is in one of the Stitch Folk bags. I haven't even looked at this in a while. There's just all kinds of stuff in here. Hold on. There it is. Okay, there it is. I have 3 projects in here, which I'm going to show you. So I decided to do the drawn thread, the Simply Seasons for my birthday start. Started with Simply Winter. Where is that? Simply Winter. And I decided to leave off the alphabet. So I'll show you in just a minute because I finished winter. And then I started spring. Where is spring? Hello. All right, here's summer and autumn. Is it in here? I'm asking you like you can look. Let's see. There it is. Here's Simply Spring. I haven't looked in this bag in a while. And then there's Simply Autumn. And Simply Summer. Of course, I won't do those in that order. I'll do them winter, spring, summer, autumn. And I started it on, I think I purchased Stormy Night 40 count, and I didn't like how it looked on it. So I switched to Fox and Rabbit Elephant, I think it's Elephant Walk. I said there's 3 projects in here, and I don't know where the flosses are. Yep, I should have been more prepared, but I'm not. There's that one. Are these the flosses? I don't know. These might be the flosses. I think they are because there's the other ones are called for. So sadly, I haven't done much on it, and I'll tell you why. Because I decided to do them vertical without the alphabet, and I decided to do it over 40 count, and now I haven't looked at it in so long. I need to see, did I do it over 1 on 40 count? No, I think I did it over 2. It's awful little though. I've shown you this before. My magnifier, it's over 2. See how that magnifies it? It's over 2. The reason I haven't worked on it is because I got winter done. I started spring. I showed it on a FlossTube, and I had somebody make a very rude comment about it, how they didn't like it, and they called it names. I call that when somebody says when you're a kid, your mother dresses you ugly. It's kind of one of those comments, and I've deleted it, so don't look for it. But it really hurt my feelings, and I know that, you know, people will say things and they don't necessarily mean to be mean, but that one was mean. And I thought, okay, so you don't like it, but it's my birthday start, and I do like it. And it made me sad, so I put it away. And I thought, you know what? I still like it when I was looking at it. I'm just looking at these. I'm going to work on it. So this might be a birthday finish too. So here it is. And if you don't care for what I'm doing, keep it to yourself, please. So it's a gray color. And I just got to start on the spring. But there's the little winter house. Then it will be spring, summer, and fall. And I just thought that's going to be sweet and vertical and will fit perfectly on the wall somewhere in my house. So I think I'm going to try to have that as a birthday finish too. So I don't know what birthday starts. I might, if I have time, to do a video where I pull a bunch of things, what I'm considering, but it might be after I get back from everything and doing everything. Where am I going to put this? We'll see. So I'm going to be doing some traveling, and I thought about what should I take with me, because the traveling will involve time to stitch. So I pulled a couple things that I'm considering, and I really got to downsize it because I can't take all these things that I have thought about. In that same Stitch Folk bag is Farmhouse Christmas. And these are all done as little pillows. And here's the called for. Let's see. Are they all DMC? Some DMC, some Classic Colorworks. I think these are all of them. No, there's 9. There's, I think I've done this one. Little Red Barn. And I'm going to do them all as one with a border. Grandpa's Pickup. Dairy Darling. These are all by Little House. And I saw this done at Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. They had it on the wall. It was gorgeous. It was over 1 on Lugana, and that's what I'm doing. Now, these are all the different designs, and I've got a couple of them started or done. So I think I might take this with me because it will be December. And if you go to Little House Needleworks page, if you want to do it all in one, I'm just going to flash it real quick. They do have a border you can download. So just go to Little House Needleworks, poke around their webpage, and they will have a border. So this is on I don't know, 25 count. 25 count. Looks like Vintage Country Mocha over 1. So there it is. Let me get close so you can see it. I know it washes out a little bit, but there's the border. I got the farmhouse done. I started on the quilt block. So there's 9. I think it's 3 rows of 3. So I might take that because that's a good winter project and Christmas project. And I also, oh, here's the elephant run on the Simply season. I started this, I had just a tiny little start. This is Winter Sampler by Kathy Barrick. And here's the called for flosses. And I did do one of the drops where I photocopied this and photocopied it on. I have a little printer in my office, just reduced the size and just taped it on there. So are these all DMC? Yeah, looks like all DMC. There's a pretty teal there, and I'm doing this on 40 count Dead Sea Scroll by Seraphim. That is not the called for, but that's what I'm doing. There's my working copies. Oh, and there's the working copies of the Simply stuff. Well, I just threw everything in the bag and zipped it up and walked away from it when my feelings got hurt. And I should know, you know, when you're a quilt teacher and they give you evaluations, and most of them are very nice, but then occasionally you get people that just want to be mean. I'm used to that. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, though. But that one really hurt. So it's like, okay, that's my birthday start. I'm sorry you don't like it. All right, so we're not going to talk about that anymore. I started, this is another one of those big rabbits, started in that corner. And I love this Dead Sea Scroll. It's got different colors. It is kind of mottled, but it's got just a hint of that teal. So I was careful how I placed it. So just, I know it washes out when I get close, but I just got a little start on it. So I might take that with me. Those are the Christmassy things. I have a whole pile like this of things I'm thinking about taking. Do you want to see it? Let me move this because I've just got piles now and I don't want to mix this stuff up. So let me come back and show you what else I'm thinking of taking. I can't take all this. Anyway, I know I'm going to take Quaker Virtues to work on that. I know I'm going to take Mary Carter because I should have a place where I can sit and stitch. I don't know beyond that. Well, my birthday finishes, the ones I just showed you, and take those. All right, let me come right back. All right, so I got cleaned up a little bit. And let's take a look at what I'm thinking of taking. And what I'll do when I come back is you'll get to see what I worked on. You'll get to see what I took with me. You'll get to see if I finished my birthday finishes. You'll get to see what I'm thinking about for my birthday start or what I started. I got to figure that out too. Anyway, my birthday's in January, so I've got time, but not really because I need to take it with me if it's a new start. So anyway, what am I going to take? Well, I'm going to take this one for sure. This is New England Sampler by the Sampler Company. And the reason I'm taking it is I'm doing it on, let's see, 18 count or 20 count Lugana. No, Ada. So here's the threads. And I took it when we went on our 3-week driving trip. And it was good to work on in the car. So I'm going to be taking it with me. So here it is. So it's a cream Lugana. Ada, sorry. And there's a lot of fill-in, so it's good car work. Because I can do the letters when we're sitting still and then do the fill-in. And there's a vine there too. So that for sure. And I'll work on that when I'm in the car. In one of my very favorite Stitch Folk bags. And I don't know if Barry will be coming back to making bags again. I hope so. But Barry, that's my favorite one. I have many of yours, and I was so glad I could get one of those. But I'm thinking when I'm gone, I need to take a sampler to work on. Or whatever's happening, I should say. And I think M. Woods. I've worked on her, and I just feel the need to continue working on her. There's hanging threads, but I don't want to move them. The original sampler is at the Attic. It is tiny, tiny, tiny. It's done on, I don't know, an uneven weave. I'm doing it on 40 count, I think, maybe 46. Don't know, do I have, there's, again, I don't even know where the threads are for M. Woods. Oh, it's in that drawer over there. I did a conversion because it's 103 or DMC, and some of the 103s that it was called for, because it's an older pattern, are no longer available, so I pulled some other colors. I'll talk about that more if I take her to work on. Yeah, the silks are over in that little drawer. But it's a Norfolk sampler, 1759. So I'm right in here. I might take her. I don't know. I just love her. And I don't even know what she's on. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm looking forward to getting the new Book of Days, and hopefully I can set it up before things get crazy in December. This is another one I'm thinking of taking with me or just work on while I'm not able to do FlossTube. This is Stacy Nash. Maria Higginson has got a big, giant house. I mean giant. And I'm using the called for, which are right here. Yeah, I did a little tag so I know what it is. You can see I have a variety of options for tags. I have time. I do the really nice one with the symbols. I don't know what I'm doing her on. My Book of Days is across the room. Almost looks like sand dune. Anyway, she's beautiful, and look at the colors. London fog is in that house, in the mortar of the roof. There's one little section that kind of ghosts, but it ghosts on the original too, so I'm just going to leave it. I love that blue slate roof. And you'll notice on the bricks, they're empty. There's no mortar. And I know I had a bobble, and I think I took it out and fixed it. I was just going to point it out, but I think I fixed it. Yeah, I did. I don't know why we point out our mistakes, but we do. Look, right here. See where I messed up? We do. I remember talking in my quilting classes when I would talk to people, and they'd be pointing it out. And I said, why do we do that? I do it too. It's like we can't just, when somebody says, oh, that looks nice, we can't just say thank you. And that's it. We have to go, oh, thanks, but look, I messed up right here. I don't know, human nature, I guess. I'm thinking, again, I've got to pare this down, but I'm thinking I might take my Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. I don't know, there's a lot of DMC. It's just like, what is that? 10 inches deep of DMC. That's going to take up a lot of space. But there's a lot of fill in, and that might be good. This is the second thing I ever started when I returned to cross stitch. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 done. I know this is on 36 Maritime White. And I'm going to change the verse. I'm going to leave the verse here, but I'm going to take this out, and I don't know what I'm going to put. And I probably will leave that, but I don't know. We've lost some friends, as some of you probably have too, and I just don't want that verse. I want something more uplifting. So anyway, there's a lot of fill-in, so I might take this. I don't know, it's going to take a lot of space. I got to decide. All right, what else have I got laid out here? Oh, I pulled my Patriotic because I thought I'd get like 3 project bags that are nice and then some of these. Let me sort it out here. All right. Because I do want to get these done before next July, which is the, as it says, quintennial, 250 years from the signing of the Declaration. There is liberty. And here's the, and if I was smart, I would write down what the linen is, which I need to do that. Here it is. There is liberty. If I had my book of days, I could tell you what the linen is. But my book of days is across on the other table, so there it is. It's not very big. What is it? It's on 40 count Hemingway, but I know I did something else. It's 232 by 87. And yes, there is a space in the wording. That is how it is on the chart. Oh, so I do have that much done. There we go. That might be a good one to take. This is R&R. It's an R&R espresso, maybe. Can't remember, but I know it's R&R. Oh my, where is it gonna go? So that's one of the Patriotics I've started. Okay. Across the Sea Sampler by Chessie and Me. I started this on Flag Day a year and some months ago. Jean had showed it on one of the Attic's FlossTube. And I started it right away. And where are the flosses? Before I put this away, I'm going to write down the linen on, well, on this one, it'll be on the tag, but here's the flosses. There's a lot of specialty stitches in this one. Pretty sure this is, what's it called for? I don't know even where the inside of that is. All right, these flags go all the way down. There we go. And that whole middle section's the lady is over 1 and all the verse. That might be a good one to take too. Just have to think about that. Okay. Oh, there's the insides of it. As I put this away, I am going to write, aha, American Chestnut. I think that's this one. 36 count American Chestnut. Yeah, I gotta do better at that. I like putting it on the tag. I think that's a good option. And just a couple more to show you that I'm thinking about. Oh no, there's some over here too. Okay, never mind. New Constellation. I just got to start on this by Plum Street. What's in here? Are these did I do a tag? Yes, I did do a tag. Did I write the linen? No. Okay, so here's my tag. And like I said, I'm going to write down the linen on the back. So when I come back, I can show you. 36 oaken is what it's stitched on. I know I don't have oaken. I don't know why. It almost looks like a piece off of something else. And is this the right one? Because I have several. Yes. Yes. New Const. I was concerned. I did not have enough down here, so I think I went all the way down, working toward the vase down here to make sure I had enough, and I do. And I got real concerned that, eek, I don't have enough, but I do. I know I measure. And someone did ask me when I change things, whether it's the linen or you know, changing that, changes the size, how do I do that? And I know many of you do this as well, but cross stitch calculator, if you will Google that, I like the one by Yarn Tree. You just plug it in, you put the linen size, the design size, and it'll spit out the, and you add the border, whatever you need, and it will spit out the size linen, and it'll spit out the design size. That's what I use, especially when I'm changing things. Did I show the back of that or the front? It was upside down on my table. So there it is. We did not get much sleep since Ziggy's surgery because he has to wear a cone. So he won't lick and dig, and he's not sleeping very well, and he's not very nice about it. And so I think last night I was up from 2 o'clock till almost 5. Oh, trying to get him to relax. And I don't want him on the bed with us because I don't want to start that. So anyway, so I'm not as coordinated and together as I usually am, but that's just how it goes. Where is this? Who knows? Well, this is one of the sampler company. I don't know where it's at. Okay, well, that one is on, I'm doing it over 1. I thought I pulled this. It could be in one of the bags. I don't know, but that one is over 1. I might take that one too. Gotta find the rest of it. Okay, just 2 more to show you. So that's why he's sleeping very well right now, because he didn't sleep much last night. Anyway, he's got 1 more day of pain medicine, and that should help. Because when our vet's very conservative, so he has them on things a little longer. So by Friday, he should be feeling a little better. He has to wear the cone a little longer, and we have one of those blow-up ones, but he's a little dog, so I just ordered something a little different that it might be a little more comfortable to sleep in. It's like a big pillow, but he likes to sleep upside down on his back. So anyway, this I showed you, American Sampler. I have just the smallest start on it. There are lots of nice things in there, and here's the, I think it's all DMC. There's the DMC. I don't know the linen. Oh, yes I do, Vintage Country Mocha. It's probably 40 count. Just have the top corner. Just started it. And I thought the Vintage Country Mocha would be nice because it kind of looks like parchment, almost like if you've ever seen the Constitution in Washington. Is it at the archives or is it at the monument? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm just thinking old parchment, kind of what it reminds me of. So just a little start on that. And this one's got a lot going on in it, and it's 215 by 315. Calls for 35 count Vintage Country Mocha. I think I'm using 36 count. I don't know, did I leave the sticker on it? I did not. Probably 36 count. I don't know where I'd get 35 count. So here it is. Lots of wonderful motifs. Look at that house. I'm getting kind of excited about that one. Maybe that'll go with me because I don't have much done on it. Yes, 36 count is what that is. Okay, New World Sampler. I know that's not the Constitution and signing, but it's still got the Mayflower. So I'm working on that. I just love all these plumb straight designs, which is why I wanted to go to the retreat, and I couldn't. I am doing this on 40 count Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Oh, yeah, I just worked a little on this, but I'm started on the upper right corner. Look at the pumpkin. That's, what am I doing it on? I have no clue. Yes, I just said Mad Hatter's Tea Party. This was I think I had some left over. So there's the color. Look at that pumpkin. There we go. All right, so other than I can't find that one sampler company, I know I pulled it. You should see, it's a sea of stuff. So I have to decide what I'm going to be working on in January and maybe February. No, December and January. So I've got to pick from these projects. I got to decide. But I do want to get these patriotic designs. I would like to get them done by summer. How many did I show you? 6? That's like finishing one a month. I better just take those. That's probably too aggressive. I probably can't get that done. So I better decide which specific ones I want to get done. And I really like this one. As it says, July 1776. Maybe I'll take that one. Maybe I'll take that one. At least get a bunch done on it. So anyway, I will either be back in January or February. And if I can, I might pop in and do a little FlossTube extra. We'll just see. But thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this a little bit chaotic look at what I've finished, what I'm thinking of working on, what I want to work on. Boy, there's a lot. I'm looking at this going, I'm thinking I'm going to live to be 400 years old. That isn't even all the things I have getted. So anyway, thank you for joining me. This is how it is when you haven't had a lot of sleep for a few days. I'm just all over the place. Anyway, thanks everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your thumbs up, your subscriptions, your likes, your nice comments. You bring a smile to my face. And I'm going to now go get an espresso. Bye, everybody. Thought I'd add this quick little video for anyone that's concerned about Ziggy. Here he is. He's doing fine. He just doesn't like wearing the cone. I took it off to do this little video, and we'll have to put it back on. But for those of you that may have thought, why won't she let him on their bed? Well, we have a high bed, and if he were to fall off or jump off, he'd get hurt. So he has this cushy bed in our bedroom, and I spent some time last night with him, both of us sleeping on the couch. Just try to get him past these first few days, but you can see he's sleeping. He's sleepy. But another day of pain medicine, just to make sure he's out of pain, but he's doing fine. Hey, can you say hello? He's gonna go to sleep again. Come here, buddy. You tired? Yeah, that medicine makes him tired, plus he just went out and had some water, so yeah, you can see he's going to sleep again. But anyway, for anyone that was concerned, he's doing fine. And if we were concerned about anything, we would immediately call the vet who lives, or actually his office is literally 5 minutes from the house. So, and he used to live right behind us, so he's a good guy, and we can call him anytime. Anyway, it's just little Ziggy, and I'll keep you updated how he is.